You're running. I got an audience of professionals in front of me, huh? I don't know if I can do this.
That's
you know?
loosely saying. Do you mind if I have the coffee?
Watch it.
You mind if I have the coffee? This is my latest photo, ladies and gentlemen, and I wasn't even down there to shoot it, but I did an amazing.
He's lying. He's lying. He's lying.
On the other side of the country.
First thing I want to do is get you to say and spell your first and last name so that we get everything right on the bottom and give us permission to use this.
All right.
Okay?
My first name is Tim, T-I-M. All right.
Don't even go there.
You ready? Want my last name and my first name? My first name is Steve, S-T-E-V-E. My middle name is None, N-O-N-E. And my last name is Reyes, R-E-Y-E-S. Testing. Okay, what else you need? And you can use all this stuff wherever you want. Men's restrooms, I don't care. As long as you make me famous, I don't care.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to give a, you ready?
Yeah. It's bigger than that.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to know.
It's cold out here. My German helmet is shrunk.
Well, you know, our visit here to the 50th anniversary of the March Meet would not be complete without talking to this gentleman right here. This gentleman was my hero when I was 14 years old, and he's still my hero. I give you Steve Reyes. Steve, what an awesome honor to be here with you, and just to be able to see you again.
It's an honor to be sitting upright and not, I guess, deceased like a lot of old drag racers and drag racing photographers. Just to be here amongst friends is the greatest thing I can have right now in my life.
Well, how many of these March meets have you been to?
I first started coming to Bakersfield in 1967, and then I did from 67 to 71 was my term here as far as, and I was hired to photograph this race early on in the 1970s.
Well, I tell you what, you know, you have come up with so many incredible images in your career. When I was 14, 15 years old, my bedroom was plastered from top to bottom, all four walls, with pictures of cars on fire, cars upside down, top fuelers and funny cars sitting at the starting line, cackling with the header flames and everything. You know, and at that point, I didn't even care about drag racing. I just liked the cool photos.
I appreciate anybody that actually reads the photo credits, because that's always been my deal, is that nobody ever reads the photo credits, and but I was just fortunate. I'm just lucky that all these crazy people would blow up in front of me. You know, I just lucky to be there. That's all it is. You know yourself. It's just luck, and that's it.
Well, you know. There's several stories that I heard over the years about racers who refused to race because they knew that you were up there in the lights or down in the shutdown area. Those stories, I believe them now. You know, I didn't at first, but I had a racer that came to my motel room in Pomona several years ago, and he said, "Gil, I'd appreciate it if you didn't come into my pit." And I said, "Well, why?" And he told me, he said, "Every time you walk into my pit, I either end up on fire or in the wall," you know? And I thought that was the biggest honor that I could ever have, to be in the same league as my hero, Steve Reyes.
Well, that's a great compliment. I mean, as far as the racer, for me, Little John Butera is the one that, he started that whole thing. He used to look at me and say, "You better not be going down the other end to photograph any of my cars." And I tell him, "Hey, Little John, man, I just shoot the photos. You're the one that builds them, so don't get on my case." But yeah, we used to have a lot of yucks, and it was fun to banter back and forth about that. That was cool, That's very cool.
Yeah, I really enjoy this. I've been doing it this is my 40th year. of doing this. I started in 1968 as a track photographer at Atco Dragway and worked for them till 77. In 1980, I moved out here to the West Coast. But you know, what would you say is your most incredible photo?
Incredible or aesthetically what I enjoy, I mean what I like, or what other people have said ooh ah. There's you know, a fine line there. I enjoy the Bowers blowing his clutch out of his car. I mean, that as far as I actually lived after shooting that photo, which was really a happy moment for me. But there's been other just pretty or just dramatic type of photos. One of my favorites that comes to mind was way back in 1966, a jet car racing, the Untouchable Jet racing Johnny Edmonds in the Waters and Edmonds car, and I was out there playing with available light. It was like I couldn't afford a flash when I was a kid photographer, and I used available light, and it was just a really pretty photo that I had of the top fueler racing the jet car at night. With just, it gave a real nice, just a real nice feel. And to me this day, that's one of my favorites. So there, you know, and then of course every class, as you know, you have a favorite. And my favorite in the fuel altered class would be Herb Pickney driving the Warlock car. Kneeling on the track like an idiot, I shot a photo of Herb and the Warlock doing a incredible monster tail dragging wheel stand with the car sideways, boiling the tires, and he set the car right down in front of me, and I had a friend in Jesus at that point in my life, because I was just a kid. But you know, when you're a kid photographer, you have no fear. And you know, they scare you once in a while, but you have no fear. I used to stand next to the racetrack, no guardrails, no nothing, at the finish line. I didn't care. And you know, fortunately enough, I'm here doing this interview right now 46 years later, because I was stupid when I had a camera in my hands back then.
Well, you're not the only one, because I remember plenty of times at Atco Dragway and at Englishtown where we're standing 6 feet from the racetrack with 200-mile-an-hour top fuel dragsters coming at us, and you know, and like you said, we didn't have any fear. We were senseless.
That's right.
And you know, when they brought these walls into the NHRA, it gave a false sense of security, but you know, we look back on it now. I went in the lights one time in 1986 for Joe Amato running his top fuel car at 270 miles an hour, and it scared the bejeebies out of me. I tell you what, even though I was behind the wall, I couldn't duck down fast enough.
Yeah, I can understand that. I used to, the late Leslie Lovett, we used to go down and stand next to the guardrail wall at Indianapolis, and Lovett used to always give me a bad time about how come I never got hit, or parts never hit me, or whatever. And sure enough, the next car come through was Doc Holliday, and old front motor top fuel car, and he blows the motor just completely to pieces. I'm standing there getting the photos, and Leslie is dancing around because he's getting hit by the pieces. And he swore up and down at me after that incident, because he says, "You're the biggest SOB out here, but yet nothing ever hits you." I said, "Hey, what can I say? It's just the karma."
Well, you know, there's plenty of times God was looking after me too. You know,
yeah.
There's when the Bruce Walker was driving the McGee motored top fuel dragster, a rear engine car at Firebird in 1992. I had a remote camera on top of the bridge, looking right down the middle of the track with a remote button on a little rope. The car's coming down through the lights, and I see the fireball, so I pushed the button. And then 3 other photographers who were standing up on the hill with me, they said, "Gil, look out, the motor's out of the car." And I'm thinking, cool, you know, and I go and I'm focusing my camera right in front of me. When that car came by me, there was rods and pistons and everything just hitting the top of the bridge, hitting the stairs on the bridge, and nothing came near me. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It's really something, you know.
It's the guardian angel on your shoulder, and I've always thought and always believed that if I didn't have that guardian angel, I would be worm food right now, and that's what I've always believed in, and to this day, I've always believed that.
Well, Steve, it's really a pleasure to see you here. You know, I've been telling other photographers that we need to get Steve out here. I will pay for his plane ticket if we can get him to come out, you know. So good thing he came out. I saved myself about $400.
Hey, that's cool. I had to come here to see all my friends because frankly, it's like the band of brothers. I miss them all, and I love them all. And it's hard for me, but somebody's got to take care of Don Garlis in Florida, and I got the job of listening to his UFO stories. So, what can I say?
Well, I love you, Steve, and I hope to see you at maybe one of the reunions. Maybe I might go to Kentucky this year, and maybe you'll show up there.
Hopefully, we'll keep in touch, and of course, stay safe.
Oh, absolutely. And Drag Racing 911 would not be possible without someone like this.
My pleasure. You need anything else or whatever, like I said, get a hold of me for photos.
Yeah, I'll go and I'll send